So, just a little about siding. I should have done this video a while ago because the siding guys have been done for a while. But anyway, I kind of did a kind of a craftsman-y style, kind of simple. I made these brackets. I covered them on another video, the brackets. So, well, before they were installed, so I had them in hand. I mean, they're real easy to put together. It's just a 4x4, and then I took 2x6 and I ripped it down to 4.5 inch wide. I just think it looks better aesthetically than have 5.5 inch wide, and then a 4x4, which is 3.5. Anyway, yeah. So these are like 14 inch by I think I did for 14.5. I don't know what 14 or 14.5. They overhang, or they hang out a little bit farther than the 12 inch soffits. Anyway, yeah. So and then I just put a little bevel here and up here on the 2x6, which you can kind of see. I think you can kind of see. Anyway, yeah, it's just to make it look a little better. Anyway, so I threw those together, and then I mean, the siding guys could have done it, but probably they charge extra, and I could put them together really quick. I made them out of pressure treated, mostly because of the part that overhangs. It's not so much here I'm worried about rot, but I guess I could have just used pressure treated here too, but I just bought pressure treated, did the whole thing out of it. Anyway, yeah. So anyway, yeah. So I did on the front of the house. I did a 5-inch exposure. It's an 8 1/4 inch siding, but I just had them do a 5-inch exposure. So I mean, you can buy smaller Hardie siding. I don't know if you can get 6 1/4. I know you can get 5 1/4 for a 4-inch exposure, and you can get 7 1/4 for 6-inch exposure. I'm not sure if they make a 6 1/4 for 5-inch exposure because you need 1.25 inch overlap. But I just had them use the 8 1/4 because all the rest of the house, it's just the front of the garage and the front of the house, and then around the sides and the back I did 7-inch exposure, but I had them use the 8 1/4 inch siding and just put it closer together. So instead of just trying to buy two different types, it's just easier. If I was going to do the whole house with a 5-inch exposure, then I would get the siding that's closely matches that exposure, which might be a 6 1/4 if they make it. I'm not sure. Anyway, yeah, the reason I didn't do it all the way around is the cost. I mean, this is an expensive spec house, and now you're looking at more labor and a lot more siding, more pieces of siding. And the pieces, whether they're 8 1/4, 7 1/4, whatever, they're almost the same price. So you're paying more in labor, and you're also paying more for the material per square foot of coverage because you're paying almost the same amount for the material. It gives you much less coverage. So anyway, yeah, so that's kind of that. But anyway, so I bought these columns. I mean, they're stock columns. They're like $150 a piece. And then I did a 1x10 here. I just think it looks nice. And then I wanted these are Hardie shingle. They make two different kinds of shingle. They make the ones that are where they're all the same, they're straight, and then they make these staggered ones. I like the looks of the straight ones better, but they didn't have them in stock, and I didn't want to wait, so I just got the staggered ones. They're the same price. I just think it looks a little better with a craftsman look. But I mean, this doesn't look bad either. It's a little more cottagey. I guess it could go either way. And then I do a 1x4 here, and then vented soffit. I don't do vented soffit on the rake, but I do it down at the bottom. There's no need to vent here. Vented soffit is the one that has the small holes in it, because it helps to vent the eaves. I don't know if you can see. I mean, but anyway, it's got holes, a lot of holes, and that helps to vent the eaves. I mean, there's nothing to vent on the rake, so up the rake. But anyway, yeah. So then 1x6, then 1x4. Like I said, I do a 1x10 here, and then they use pressure treated wood here because I had some left over. So, but it's all get caulked and painted. And then on the inside, they did this 1x6 with 1x4 on top, and then a Hardie panel, which comes in 4x8 sheets. There's a couple different ones. This is the most common one with the fake wood grain, matches the siding. Anyway, yeah, and then 1x4 here, 1x4 on the doors, around the windows, and then flashed. And then they do miters. I mean, you can do lap joints too, but anyway, they do miters. It's just the way they do it. Either way is fine. It all gets painted. Nobody's going to really notice. And then let's see what else. 1x4 corners. And then I had them do this, so you don't have to put this here. I mean, probably I wouldn't do it next time, because then I could put one of these corbels. I could put it here, but anyway, it just did it. I thought of the corbels after this was all built, and I'm like, oh, I think I'm gonna make some corbels and make it look different. I don't like to build all the houses that look exactly the same in the subdivision. I mean, I use this floor plan a lot, but just try to tweak them all, make them look a little bit different. Make the porch a different shape, different columns, that sort of thing. There's also going to be railings on here, and I don't have to because I'm less than 30 inches off the ground. I do have to have a railing here because I have more than 3 steps. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 steps, so I have to have a railing on one side. But I'm still going to put a railing on it. It just looks better, looks more old school. So I'll be doing that later. That's towards the end of the job. And then let's see what else. And then I've got these vents here. These are stock online vents. I think it's Witten, W-I-T-T-E-N, makes these vents. They're, I don't know, 12, 13 bucks a piece. They're plastic, and then they have this little, you can open and close the door. You keep opening in the warmer weather. I mean, today it's like 75, but you know, when you have cold weather, it's good to close them. It keeps it keeps a little warmer in the crawl space. Anyway, yeah, so maybe here you can see I think you can see the vented soffit there. And then, like I said, here's 7-inch exposure. And then let's see, around here I've got access hole on each side. And what I do for the access holes, I have the guys cut two. I'm going to glue them together with like caulk them together, glue them together, so you have 2 layers of the Hardie panel that's left over from the porch ceiling. And then they'll fit in here, and then I put those little twist things. You untwist, you can take them out, or you just twist it, holds it in place, one on each side. The little metal things, I don't know what they're called, but anyway. Yeah, so that'll give you access to it. Decent size access to crawl in. I think I do like, I don't know, whatever the full height is. It's probably like 14 inches high, and I think I do like 28 inches wide. So it's good enough, easy enough for somebody to crawl in. And then in the back, kind of simple. I'm gonna build the stairs. So I just had them put a rim joist on, pressure treated rim joist, and flash it. It's like 8 feet long, and then I'll make it like 4 feet wide. And you know, it's just a little space for somebody to get out the door, and then I'll have some stairs going down. Again, this will also have a railing, because this is more than 30 inches off the ground, so it has to have a railing. And then maybe put a little something here, a little grill or something in the corner. But you know, if somebody wants to really build a deck and do all that, I don't include all that, and you don't know what people want anyway. But in this price range, I just give them that, so it's at least something they can move in if they want to change it in the future. Obviously, with, you know, it's a nice view, it's on a pond. So I'm sure somebody will do something a little more, but this is at least to give somebody something to start with. And then see here, just trim around the windows. 1x4, everything is 1x4 trim, basically. It's simpler, easier. You can use 1x6 too, but I think 1x4 looks appropriate size-wise. Same thing on the garage, everything's kind of the same. And the front of the garage, I did it to match the front of the house. So I had them, I had them use the same corbels. And then I did put a 1x10 across here as a divider, but I think, I don't know, because it's going to be a 3-color paint job. So there'll be 1 color for the trim, 1 color for the body, and then I'll do an accent color for the front door, and then these corbels. Probably should have done this with 1x8. I think aesthetically this is a little too wide for this, but it's okay. Probably nobody will notice the difference except me. So probably next time when I do this same design on the front, this will be a 1x8. 1x6 is too small. This looks a little too wide. I don't know, I'm fussy about stuff, so Anyway, but all in all, it looks pretty good. And this is how we do here. Everything is, it's all Hardie on the outside. Also, some people use like the siding for this instead of buying the 3/4 inch thick, you know, the 1x6, because it's expensive. They'll use siding, they'll just have the siding guys rip it to 5.5 inch. I mean, when you see the edge of it, it looks thinner. I just buy the Hardie. Like I said, it costs more. I just think it looks better than just seeing that thin edge for your fascia board. Anyway, it's personal preference, but it's going to cost you more. Anyway, that's kind of the whole thing. And stand back. I mean, it looks good from you know, when you're coming down the street, you're coming down from this way. The sun's probably, yeah, the sun's gonna kind of mess up the shot, but well, so is my truck. Anyway, yeah, looks like that and that. Yeah. All right, back to work.